Welcome back, everyone. God bless you and God bless America. I'm your host, Steve, and this is the Liberal Letdown. Good morning. It's July 2nd, early morning for us. Don't forget, follow me on Twitter at liberal_letdown and send me your show ideas. I was tagged earlier this week in something on Facebook. Go ahead, tag me there. Find me. Find the show page, the Liberal Letdown. My Gmail, theliberalletdown@gmail.com. Send all your show ideas, insight, anything you want to talk about. Go ahead and hit me there. I got a few stories this week. Some stuff I really want to dive into. Some of it I just kind of take shots at stupid people because they're dumb. So let me know what you think. Now, this first story was the one I was tagged in on Facebook. I hadn't heard about it. It was really cool to see and to hear and then to get everybody's take and then all the comments afterwards. Oh my god, it was so dumb. Title of the piece, Badass Grandpa uses fancy footwork to trip armed suspect fleeing from cops. Okay, sounds pretty great, right? Grandfather in Ohio selflessly put himself in harm's way to stop an armed suspect fleeing from police. Harmless. I like the way it sounds. Honest. Caring. Okay. Selfless. The man, identified only as Bill, kicked back his right leg to trip up the 18-year-old who was running with a gun in his hand outside of West Columbus Library last month. Okay, so there's a video that goes with it so you can see. The teenager was sent tumbling to the ground. The weapon fell out of his grasp, and cops swooped in to detain him. So, this is the first three pieces of the beginning of the article. And this is what I read off to you, okay? It's all, nothing's negative against anybody, right? And yet the comments people were making about the video was, why would the police officer say that he almost shot the criminal? The boy's a criminal. He is. And if you would have seen the pistol, they showed at the end, the pistol that the boy was carrying, it had it had a magazine on it that you would buy not from the manufacturer. And absolutely not something that comes with the firearm at time of purchase. It was a very long, extended magazine. And it had a light on it, which I don't imagine an 18-year-old who apparently was just running from cops. I don't know what he's going to need with a light on his gun. I would imagine he doesn't know any better at this point in his life. He's just really getting into it. So I would ask if it's stolen, who he stole it from. But he dropped it because he got tripped. And then he went to go for it. I mean, if I was a cop, I probably would have said the same thing. I think it's safe to assume that an officer recognized a pistol on the ground and a criminal reached for that pistol, which would be used against him or his fellow officers, because there were multiple there, would feel this exact same way. And that's what I just said. Or he would shot the grandfather. He would have shot Bill here. Would have shot him because he tripped him. Anger does stuff. You get a gun. No, my opinion on it. Officer just spoke his feelings. And was probably in a crazy adrenaline rush, right? You're sitting there with an armed suspect who was heavily armed. You could argue he was heavily armed. The cops don't even carry magazines that extended like that. And they use what seemed like almost the same pistol, if not the same pistol. So, I feel the officer spoke his feelings as he was probably on some awesome adrenaline rush. Another officer said, "I almost pulled my trigger." Yeah. I can't believe you didn't. The kid was reaching for the gun again. He almost had it back. He was close. But, of course, people only want to talk about how it was a black kid who was already being hailed a criminal. and the oppressive white police officers were threatening the boy with death. You know, are you serious? It doesn't matter what color you are. If a black man was about to grab a gun and do harm to you or your coworkers, you would feel an adrenaline rush. You probably would have shot the man because you, as a normal civilian, don't have the training that these officers do. And according to statistics, if you were a black man, and a black man was about to pull a gun on you, you would have shot him. Black on black crime is incredibly high. It's just statistically saying. Next story. Man who refused to hand over immigrant info to ICE. He states, do not collaborate with fascists. Interesting. Former government employee who quit his job after refusing to hand over information about immigrants to U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement says that those participating in the separation of families at the U.S.-Mexico border are on the wrong side of history. Oh, I love this saying. One of my favorites, on the wrong side of history. It is so annoying to hear liberals scream this nonsense at you. They scream it at you like it's going to be carved into the side of a mountain. The President Donald Trump signed an executive order keeping families together. Oh, wait a minute. That would have been what the liberals don't want. Because then they need to find something else to be outraged over, which they're quickly working that way. You know, I'm on the wrong side of history. You were able to eat this month because my taxes paid for your food. So tell me who's in a better position to write history. Back to the article. Jordan Deardahl Roberts, 33, worked for the Montana Department of Labor as a legal secretary until this February, when he was asked to process ICE subpoenas that would give the government agency wage reports for undocumented immigrants. I went and talked to my manager and said, I don't think I can do this, he told Huffington Post. They kept trying to offer me an out, but as long as they were going to process the subpoenas, I couldn't stay. You don't collaborate with fascists. So, so who's the fascist? The ICE people? ICE? Why? Because they enforce the laws of our country? You mean the exact same laws Obama had ICE follow. All of this hysteria is showing the country what liberals actually are, and that is phonies. They are only acting outraged because they all feel Trump is some awful person, but decline the fact that their savior, Obama, did literally the exact same thing in this specific case as Trump did, but only much worse. Enough is enough with it. Liberals are crazy. They are crazy. Find legitimate reasons to be mad and act like adults instead of children, and you'll be taken seriously. And I think that that is a big first step into some common ground. Act like an adult. Stop it when you with these people. They go to these marches and they can't be taken seriously because they're still going through their rebellious stages in their lives because they still live in their parents' basements. They haven't figured out what it's like to be an adult yet. They haven't had to pay their own bills. They haven't had to buy their own food. They haven't had to do so much in life. This is the majority, not all. This is the majority. It's been shown. Oh, millennials, the young people will win. No, they're not, because they're dumb and because they haven't lived life yet. Last story. Pastor says, keep killing babies because I hate Trump. Now, I'm just going to get into it. For the latest misadventures in absolute never Trumpism corrupts every bit as much as absolute always as much absolute as always Trumpism. I give you Pastor Thabiti Anyab Willie. Whatever. The headline of his piece in the Washington Post is "Overturning Roe v. Wade Isn't Worth Compromising with Trump, My Fellow Evangelicals." He leads it off by imploring that we are going to give an account to God for our complicit silence before the immoral policies and actions of the Trump administration. So, he condemns everybody because of one man. One man who has not only made correct decision after correct decision, but one man who has not shown him or anybody personally any ill will in this situation, especially in this situation. He is following the laws of the country. He is having a federal department of the country enforce these laws, the same laws that have been enforced, written, followed for years and years and years before him. And you're going to tell me that not overturning a garbage ruling and saving hundreds of thousands of lives a year is not worth it. Did you know that black women go and have abortions at the same rate that they give births throughout the black community? That's why the population very, very rarely increases for black individuals. It is close to 50-50, born and murdered. You overturn this, and that number will grow. Obviously, if you're intelligent, it'll go back down to the states. It'll be states' rules, states how they feel about it. So you would imagine a very liberal state, we'll just say California. You can go there and you'll probably get one on demand. But if you go to a very conservative state, and we'll say Texas, Florida, and you either won't be able to have one, or you'll have to show mother's health is at risk, or name any other reason other than I'm lazy and I don't want a baby. That is, I mean, any actual reason. And I think mother's health is about it for me. You don't just murder a child. So, my thing is, how as a pastor do you openly say, don't worry about saving the lives of babies because insert any name does something that I don't like? Not even Trump. Obama. Obama. Okay, let's say this pastor said, I don't want to. Obama was going to overturn this. It's not worth it. I don't like him. If I was a pastor, and I'm not, if I was a man of God, and I devoted my life to God, and some piece of garbage like Obama said, you know what, I think we're going to try and overturn this, I would be his biggest cheerleader. Absolutely, hands down. And I cannot stand the person that Obama is. I cannot. The family is disgusting. You mean to tell me you're going to save 300,000 lives annually from one company baby killing center in Planned Parenthood? Potentially. Maybe you move all your facilities over to California. Whatever. So then the growth rate in California, the population plummets. People are already leaving California in droves. You mean to tell me that you're now not having kids because we can just murder kids at will, continuously? But as a pastor, as a man of God, this sounds more like a child throwing a temper tantrum to me. It doesn't sound like anybody who preaches the word of our Lord. I said before, I'm not a pastor. I'm not a priest. I am close with my faith. I have my sins. Everybody sins. I have my burdens. I also know for a fact that no real Christian who believes in God would ever pass up a chance to save these children's lives. Ever. 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 You know, you can be mad about kids and children, or children and adults being separated at the border all you want. You can. Go ahead, be pissed. The fact of the matter is most of these families, quote-unquote families, being separated aren't families at all. They're just random adults bringing kids over because they think they get a free ticket into the U.S. That is fact. That has been proven fact. Also, another proven, noted fact. You bring kids or not, if you don't cross illegally, but instead you go to a port of entry and claim asylum, you won't be separated from these children, whether they're yours or not, and you won't be arrested. That's what they're telling these people to do. Do it the right way. You know, if you open the article on the link that I attached for this website, you'll see someone who claims to be Native American is holding up a sign that says, "Donald Trump is not welcome on native land." Why not? Last time I checked, your people don't have a standing army. You know, because the white Europeans came over and conquered your people. During a time of expansion throughout the world and conquest, which was abundantly common. And your people didn't keep up with the times. But I guess you could say your ancestors were on the wrong side of history. That's it for today. We're going to end on a high note. Thank you all for tuning in. Once again, God bless you and God bless America. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter at liberal_letdown. Send me your hate mail at my Gmail, theliberalletdown@gmail.com. Thank you for listening. God bless you. God bless America.